Well, good morning, friends. Mark Holmes here with my buddy Cowboy Joe Boo, and as always, thank you guys for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, this literally does not work. Let's get open for business and let's wake up the football gods here this morning. Wake up, guys, on this Wednesday morning, and today's the day. Today's the day we find out who is fan-sided fan of the year, the winner. But I got to tell you, I'm already a winner. The fact that I was a finalist, the fact that I've had so many people out there support me and vote for me and everything else, it doesn't matter what happens with the contest today. I feel great and I appreciate all of the support from each and every one of you that voted for me, that gave me words of encouragement, all of you that come on here and are part of the conversation. And what it really and truly shows me, um, the great thing uh, about sports and football is, for me, it used to bring people together. We kind of lost that a couple of years ago with the anthem protests where people were lining up football became divisive. But football for me always was a way to interact with others. It was an icebreaker. Because whenever you're walking down the street and you would see a Dallas Cowboy fan, a fellow fan wearing some gear, it's up. Didn't matter if you were black, white, old, young, rich, poor, whatever. All you knew was you guys had something in common. And even with Eagle fans, I got to tell you, I'm amazed and humbled by how many Eagle fans out there have supported me with this campaign that have gone through. Hey, I'm an Eagle fan. I hate your team and stuff. I love your channel and your content. I voted for you and best of luck. And that's just incredible because this channel is never about trying to be a trash talker or belittle people and things like that or doing personal attacks. You know, there's plenty of those kind of channels out there for people that just want to vent their frustrations or just to be an ass. But this has never been one of those, and I've always tried to take the high road because for me, it's about being a fan. It's about sharing that experience. It's about riding the other guys when they lose and, consoling each other when we do. To me, football is the greatest sport in the world, and I absolutely love it, and it is literally part of every day of my life. And that's the truth because anybody who knows this channel knows in season, off season, there's always going to be something going on about the Cowboys and how it relates to life. So I know already I'm a winner because of all you guys. We'll see if we win the contest or not, and if we do, I'm still trying to work out the logistics. Um, what I want to do is, because this channel is about the community, is I want to make the opportunity for people who have never had the chance or the means to go to a game to get to go to a game. And what I'll do with the StubHub credit, which is $2,500, is either buy game tickets or buy Party Pass. I'm thinking Party Pass because then we can get more people there. I've spoke with my buddy Barry, and we'll get people to be able to go to the autograph signing show and things like that, and make it a fun-filled weekend of fans. And that's my dream. So we'll find out today. Keep your fingers crossed if we can do that or not. So today, the Dallas Cowboys get back on the field. Practice, not a game, not a game now. We're talking about practice. And we're taking on the Detroit Lions that most likely will be without Matthew Stafford. Don't sleep on the Lions. The Dallas Cowboys have a history with the Lions that's kind of crazy because one of the playoff wins we've had under Jason Garrett was against the Lions. And there was a controversial play in there. I think it was a pass interference that might not have quite been a pass interference by uh, some measure by some people. But regardless, that was one of Jason Garrett's playoff wins. We've had other games where we've been up big time against the Lions, and we throw three interceptions in the second half, a couple of which are pick sixes that let the Lions back in the game to beat us. And herein lies the thing with Jason Garrett. Jason Garrett, Great human being. Nice guy you'd like to go have a couple of drinks with and talk football. But there's always something that you look back and say, we made the wrong decision. See, when you get a Bill Belichick, something Bill Belichick does every week, it seems, is he gives you a new wrinkle, something you don't expect. I remember one game where all of his defensive linemen were standing up. It wasn't that they would have an advantage in rushing, standing up. If anything, it actually made it harder. But because the offensive linemen get there and they're now looking at guys standing up, it put doubt in their head. What's going on? And see, in football, you just need somebody to question something for just an instant, and boom, play's gone. Bill Belichick will get a player or two to do just one certain thing. He will use almost his entire roster to give him advantage everywhere. He will look, and you'll say, damn, where did that play come from? Doesn't mean it always works, but he keeps people guessing. He plays the odds. He plays the numbers. He's always thinking on what I can do differently to get ahead of the other teams. That, and he plays in a division that has teams that are sorry. That always helps too. But it seems like whenever we're in those kinds of situations where it is a decision from the coach, we seem to make the wrong calls. When you're up big time on another team, it tells you run the football to run out the clock. Because the difference is if you do a sideline pass and the guy goes out of bounds, maybe you take out 7-8 seconds off the clock. Or if it's an incomplete pass, it's the same thing. You take off 7-8 seconds. If you run the ball and the guy stays in bounds, you can take off 40 seconds out of whack. Even if it ends up being 3 and out because you don't make a first down, potentially you're taking off 2 minutes of the clock versus maybe 21 seconds. And so when you have a big lead, that's why you want to run the football. We didn't do that against the Lions. Twice. You're up by 21. And you kept throwing the football. And that was a pattern that happened with the Green Bay Packers. And this was the 8-8 seasons. Against Matt Flynn, you're up 26-3, but yet you threw the ball more than the team trying to come back, in which case you turned over the football and you lost those games. Coaching 101 would say, if you got a lead, run out the damn clock. Don't pass the football and risk turnovers. But we don't. It seems like when there is a point of making a decision that's going to give you an advantage or critical times, it seems like we always make the wrong decisions. The Austin punt return. He's told, fair catch it. You got a hot hand with a quarterback who hasn't turned over the football, who has been escaping and making big plays. And you have a running back who is the highest paid running back in the history of the NFL that has not had a run for more than 4 yards all night, and you've gone 6 times in a row on first down running the football only to get nothing, to put yourself in second and 12 or second and 8 every single time. Yet you decide here, as the game is on the line, let's run it not once but twice. And those are the decisions that end up killing the Cowboys. Because when you go back to the Matt Flynn game, you hold on to that lead, that's 9-7 as opposed to 8-8, and you're in the playoffs. When you look at the Lions game, that you're up by 21, you hold on to that lead. That was another one of those 8-8 years, and you're in the playoffs. I'm hoping that when we look back on Jason Garrett's career, that Minnesota Vikings, where we decided down there in the red zone to run the ball twice, that's not one of those games that we point back to as a failure that kept the team from making the playoffs. But understand, the difference between winning and losing is so small. 3 of our 4 losses are a total of 8 points. 8 points. That meant you had enough going right for you to be in the game. And that's where coaching needs to be the difference maker. Instead of it being that we have to overcome bad decisions by coaches, it should be that we should be able to overcome because we have good decisions by coaching. I don't know why it is, but whenever we have these big pressure situations, it just does not seem to be the right call. This season's not over. The Eagles and the Cowboys is what the division is going to come down to, and more than likely, um, neither of us will be a wild card team. There's too many other teams with good records. I mean, from Carolina to, of course, you've got the 49ers, you've got Green Bay and Minnesota, um, and of course Seattle. Basically, between those 4 teams, you got 2 division winners, and you probably have your wild card teams. The only way we're making the playoffs is by taking the division. Now, we got the Lions this weekend, probably without Matthew Stafford. You get that win there. You've got the Eagles going against Bill Belichick. Yeah. And Tom Brady still is hurting from that loss in the Super Bowl and maybe looking for some revenge. Maybe we get back on track and then it's our turn against New England. It's not too late for the season, but we have to have better decisions from above. The reality is, Jason Garrett's going to finish out the season. He's not going to get fired tomorrow. It's not going to happen. So we have to do the best we can do right now. So that's where we are right there. That's all I got for you at this moment. Um, there's no point in crying over spilled milk over Minnesota. We got to move on because if you live in the past, you're going to screw up your future. And right now, we got to think about the future, and the future is the Detroit Lions. And this team is what it's going to be. You're not getting any reinforcements. You're not changing coaches. We got to do the best we can with what we got. And let's see if the Dallas Cowboys can man up and get it there. I'm Mark Holmes, and thank you for watching this morning's edition of Don't Sleep on the Dallas Cowboys. I'll see you soon.